Well, the last few days have been extremely interesting. I had a couple of oops moments. Hey, I was a little bummed out about it yesterday and today, but I figured I would just go ahead and put out what I got. So I had done a step-by-step carving video with a breakdown and voiceover, and spent like 4 or 5 days editing it, and thought everything was great. And when I went to play back, one of the audios was off by like a second or two. So when I went back in to adjust that a little bit, I said I needed more memory, so I deleted some things, and I accidentally deleted all my videos from that carving video. So yeah, that was really awesome. I had a really cool, man, I was really proud of that one. But no attachment, right? That means the next one's going to be even better. I've had some memory issues with my phones recently, and I've been trying to figure out what to do about it. I was gonna order a camera, and I've been doing like probably way too much research. I don't know, the phone thing is so easy. And every time I go to Walmart, they're sold out of everything. So I might take a trip over there tonight, then go see if they got like some GoPros, or I don't really know what to get. I don't really want to spend $1,000 on a camera, but the new GoPros, it's like $400, and to me that's a little more reasonable, and it has like a microphone and all that stuff. So yeah, I don't know. This vlogging thing is insane. But in the meantime, I'll do this as an opener. But in the meantime, here's a bunch of random stuff that's happened. That's happened over the last couple weeks, and I have the detail side of the bear that I did for the video, just not the carving part. So I might throw some of that mixed in with this video. I'll see how it goes. But yeah, let's take a trip around the shop and enjoy this bunch of random stuff. And I'll see y'all in a minute. Alright, so these are pretty much my basic tools. I got a DeWalt grinder, angle grinder here. These rotozips I actually really like a lot. It's what I use all my wood boring bits, my eyeball bit, my furring bit, all that stuff. Got a palm sander here. Of course, my Dremel. I really just use that to cut in the nose. I'll explain that a little bit. And then a smaller, a long shaft die grinder with one of my furring bits on it. My next step after the rough out is I'm going to come back in with the grinder, kind of round everything in, and get rid of all the saw marks, push some material back, work on shaping the muzzle a little bit more, shaping everything else. And so spend a little bit of time with that, and let's get after it. So again, what I'm doing is just taking the grinder, going over the whole piece, kind of rounding everything in, and yeah, just smoothing everything out, kind of pushing stuff back, and just working it until I feel like it's kind of where I think it should be. And then after this, I'll go into my next bit. So this is my other bit. This is just a pretty aggressive or coarse ball bit from a company called Cutsaw. I
use a lot of their tools actually, and I really like their bits. As long as you don't hit like a nail or anything like that, they last a long time. And if they ever get gummed up, I just hit it with a little bit of torch and a wire wheel, and they're good to go. But in this moment, I'm just kind of rounding everything around, giving it a little finer detail, cutting in some of the muzzle there, and then from there I'll go into another bit, which is like a cone bit. Same thing though, it's a coarse bit, and so it just comes to a point as opposed to being rounded. So I use this for my ears, my eyes, my toes, the claws, and I really I use this bit probably more than anything else, to be honest with you. And so yeah, we'll speed this up. And yeah, I had to move the camera. I've had so many issues with my memory lately, so that's been a big problem. But so I'll cut in obviously the nose with this, and I'll start laying out how I want the nose to sit on the muzzle, and then I'll come in with the Dremel afterwards and kind of smooth everything out and give it a little bit finer detail. And so that's what I'm doing now. Oh, and so how I came up with my noses is I studied my dog's nose, ironically, and kind of put my own little flavor on it. I've spent so much time studying muscle structure, bone structure, fur patterns, and then just time with the tools and trial and error, things that I like and I don't like. Like I said before, I don't have like an exact set template that I use, because every piece that I make is so different and unique in its own way. It carries its own little personality, that I can't really make the same thing twice. But I'm rounding everything around. The greatest thing with wood too, I mean, you're just little bits here and there, you know, and dragging that tool around a little bit more, it gives just a little bit more detail, and I can round everything out, and yeah, you can slowly start seeing everything kind of take shape. So I'm cutting in the bone on the muzzle there, coming back in with the nostril. So I have ADD. I'll go all over the place with the piece, but usually once I get after the grinder and that little ball bit, I'll come back in and focus on the muzzle. So that's what we're doing. Alright, so with after I get with that coarse bit, that cuts all bit, I'll come back in with the fine Dremel bit, and this kind of really smooths everything out, gets rid of a lot of the lines that the aggressive bit has left. And so just cutting in some finer detail around the muzzle, or around the nose rather, and once I get to that and I'm happy with it, I'll burn it really heavy, and then I'll come back in with the wire brush here, and that'll just really smooth it out. And so blow the dust off, I'll come back in with a little black paint, go ahead and paint the nostrils or the nose, and then yeah. Oh, so here I had that little crack in the nose there, so I just went ahead and filled it in with some putty. I wasn't gonna be able to hide it. I went over that in the video that I accidentally deleted. But I had a little crack right there in the muzzle, so I just went ahead and filled it with some putty, and come back in. So once we get that all squared away, we'll paint the muzzle, and then I'll work on I think after this doing the usually furring. So that's probably what's gonna happen. Alright, yeah, so I'm using one of my bigger furring bits that I made. Actually, my dad came up with this a long time ago, and so what it is, it's actually it's a rounder bit that I've cut the bearing off the end of it, kind of sharpen it a certain different way, and then I put it in that roto zip there, and add all the fur. And so that long shaft die grinder, it's just a smaller version of that. And I'll come in around the muzzle, around the face. It just leaves a finer fur pattern. That bigger bit leaves bigger marks or bigger lines in the wood for the fur. And so what I'm doing here is just cutting in around the face, and then after that I'll come back in and cut my nose in with the Dremel, and kind of shape it to where I'm satisfied with it. And then I'll come back with that fur bit and carve around it and bring that fur up to its nose there. And so yeah, you can kind of see the whole thing finally starting to come to shape. After this, I'm going to be using my eye bit, and this is the one that I had made. And so what I do is I kind of set it in there softly, to kind of line up where I want them to be, and then I'll take just that cone bit from Cut Saw again and push in that bone around the eye there, and that way I can push the eyes in a little bit further. And then I'll come back in, I'll cut in my paws, and then I'll cut in the oh man I'll cut in the, I keep wanting to say toenails. It's not it's not, definitely not the claws. Oh my goodness, the claws. And so cut in the mouth there. When I say cutting it in, I'm just making the lines and carving it out, and then doing the same thing for the ears also. So once I get to this point, I will put the eyeball bit back in here soon. And yeah, I wasn't super happy with that, so I actually used the ball bit and kind of reshaped it a little bit right there. But there's the eye bit again. Come back in and carve it, and then what I took out with the ball bit and that cone bit, there's my back. I'll come back in with that little furring bit and cut in all the fur around the face there. And so we're getting close. So once I get all the detail to where I'm satisfied with it, I will take the torch and I will burn everything. Right now I'm just blowing all the loose sawdust off around it, and just kind of making sure everything feels symmetrical. I do that a lot actually. You can feel if one side's a little bit off or not, but I'll burn it really heavy. And this does a couple different things. So this will tighten up some of the loose ends, get rid of some of the fraying in the wood, and then also kind of creates a sealant around it also. Hit the wire brush, get all the loosies off there, blow it all off, and then I'll come back in with black spray paint. And so I'll cut the muzzle in with, it's the cheapest black spray paint from Lowe's. So it's super thin, it kind of blends in really nicely. And then the body of the bears, I'll use a Rust-Oleum. The reason I use the cheap paint is because the Rust-Oleum splatters a little too much. And so here I'm painting in the eyes. It's a paint called Yellow Ochre, and I'll add just a touch of gray on the eyelid there. I'll add just a little white dot to make it like the sun is shining on its eyes. And then I'll come back in once that dries a little bit and kind of clean up around the piece or around the carving, get rid of some saw marks. And yeah, once I get all that sanded down and cleaned up, I'll use a sealant. And so the sealant that I use is a product called Sanding Sealer. One of my local paint suppliers, it's their version of it, but I like it quite a bit. And so I'll put a generous coat of that on there. And once that dries, I'll put a Rust-Oleum clear coat over that. And so just doing a little touch up with the black, burned around it. There is the sanding sealer there. It's super forgiving. So I just lather it on there really generously. And it really ties everything in. And so what it does, it actually kind of soaks in and creates a barrier. So that way when you do put either a polyurethane or a spray poly on top of it, it's not just going to soak in so much. But I tend to just do a light gloss with it. But this morning
I have to run to Maryville to go pick up some cedar slabs and some cedar wood. A buddy of mine's house, it's about an hour or so from here. So I fired up the old diesel. I got some black walnut slabs that I'm actually going to give him so he can do some projects and stuff. So they're sitting back here. They did get rained on a little bit this morning, but I think they'll be a-okay. But yeah, hadn't drove old Sarge in a little while, but she fired right up and ready to go. So that's my plan for this morning, and then hopefully I can get back here and get some carvings done. Here in Pigeon Forge they're doing, it's called the Rod Run, so it's a big car show. So it's gonna be a really busy weekend. I've already noticed this week a bunch of old classic cars coming into town, and them getting ready, getting set up. And so yeah, it is a beautiful morning. Skies are blue. We had a little bit of rain, but it should be all headed out for the rest of the day. And so, all right, shop, you'd be good here for a little while without me. That was so awesome. I just love that. So I get everything pretty much shut down and be ready to go. So I just picked up these slabs, and so cool to see my buddy. Got to hang out for a little bit, but on my way out I wanted to show you this real quick, and it's a pretty cool thing. They use it every once in a while, but this thing is a 1903. It's a steam powered sawmill, and I have videos, I'll put those on, of it running. But look at this thing. It was put on the property by mules back in the day, which is so exciting. It's absolutely insane. So this is the blade itself. It's got these huge belts with this built-in transmission. This lever adjusts the trolley over here. You load the logs from up here, come through, slice it, put it down, and roll it back. Now this is a Tennessee engineering thing for sure. So it's got this custom made sawdust collection system, and this is actually a chain that comes down. It comes around, and before it had this little trough thing, and it was all connected, and it ran across the property and dumped out down by the garden area over there. But before I left, I wanted to show you all this, just to show you how cool and amazing this thing is.
Well, today's gonna be a good day. Today's gonna be a good day. We're getting the bad stuff out of the way early. I was driving to the shop in the old dually and came up to a red light, and all of a sudden it stalled out, and I'm stuck on the side of the road. I think it's a fuel delivery issue. I've had gunk built up in one of the gas tanks. I think it finally caught up to me. I was trying to clean it out, but yeah. So today's gonna be a good day. Luckily I have a tow truck coming, and he's on his way to come pick me up. Dang it. Well, maybe that's what I get. I was thinking about selling it, getting other things, but maybe she heard about it and got mad at me. But we'll get to the shop and we'll get to changing the world one piece at a time. The bad part is I went to Dunkin' Donuts this morning, and it was so busy that I haven't even had coffee yet. And that's where my issue started. I should have got coffee. None of this would have happened. But I'll keep y'all updated. I'm just sitting here waiting. Maybe this guy's coming up now. The coolest thing is, at least I have animal crackers. Oh man. It'll be alright. It'll be alright. Hang it. So I'm super happy. Hey, what's up? Oh, a little bad camera action. So super happy with the way the shop is coming along. I did add those couple little shelves back over there. Got those finished and hung up. I think what I'm gonna do, I was looking at it today. I have like this dead space here, and so kind of like how this is, I'm gonna take these smaller cedar logs that I got and run a post here and here, and then maybe run a shelf across the center line there, kind of fill that area in. But I started carrying some of my friends' pieces that she started making, and so I think it really added to the shop quite a bit. And I've sold a handful of her pieces anyway, and sold a handful of pieces on Saturday. So it's Monday, September 20th. It's been a few weeks since I've done a video. Like I said, I had that one, and man, I was so disappointed. I was so bummed out. I put a lot of time, a lot of love into it, but it'll be all good. It'll be okay. So that just means we got room for better videos for sure. That's part of it, you know. We always just gotta adapt and overcome, and that's just one more thing. Small thing, not a big thing at all. So let's take a trip to Walmart. Let's see if we can go find a camera. I looked online and they didn't have anything that they said in stock, so I'm gonna drive over there and go see for myself. I know one of the videos I took, it was the truck had broke down, so I actually ended up fixing it this morning. Turned out to just be a fuel filter, thankfully. And then
So she's running strong, running good, running great, running grand, wonderful. So that was a good thing to get knocked out this morning. And it looks like my uncle's pulling up, so I'm gonna talk to him for a little bit, and then we'll go to Wally World. All right, so we made it to Walmart. Got my little nephew with me.
Hell yeah.
Rocking the Fat Bob's merch.
That's right.
Let's go stare at stuff and not buy anything. It's usually what I do anyway. Well, they don't have any GoPros, but I think I found the one.
That's right. Right here. Though.
That's what we're gonna create the vlogs with. All this stuff, I don't know.
Or you could get the waterproof one.
Oh, the old clicky ones?
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, there's you.
Yes.
Not nothing, man.
There you go, Bob.
So Walmart wasn't done. Chase was looking for a above average human being life size
Teddy bear.
a 7-foot teddy bear, which they don't make. So now it's raining, and we're gonna head back to the shop. I gotta find a camera. I have 8 minutes of video left on this phone. We're there. 8 minutes and 37 seconds. So the journey continues.
Wish them luck.
You guys couldn't tell in the video, but we were driving, and Chase put on Phil Collins in the air tonight, and it's just me and him in here driving through town to Phil Collins together. I just thought it was such a weird vibe. I mean, I like the song, dude, but not like an intimate setting with the windows. I don't have windows. If we had the windows up, I'd listen to it with you. I'm like 50.
You ain't 50.
No, like the radio would be on like 50. It goes up to 60. It'd be loud. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. All right. So we didn't get cameras. No teddy bears. We decided to end the night on a positive.
Ice cream.
Ice cream makes everything better.
Yes.
Yeah. Old Cruzy Farms over here. It's the bomb. All right, so it is the end of the day. It's about 9-ish. Just got back to the shop. Just make sure everything's shut down. Huh. Got my Cedar Lear glowing. It's got such a cool. Let me turn this camera around real quick. It's just got such a nice soft glow. It looks really bright on the camera, but it's just nice and warm. So I'm working on putting all this together somehow to make it make sense, and I got to go through and delete a bunch of stuff. I'm gonna do some research on some more cameras, and probably end up just having to order one from the the jungle down there in the Amazon, you know. So but hey, I appreciate you guys watching these videos, and I appreciate being able to share this journey with you. You know, it's a lot of carving, a lot of everything. You know, it's super exciting. Every day something new, and it's super cool. This is my favorite part of the day, though. Everything's calm, peaceful. You got a car going by every once in a while, and so I'm just gonna be hanging out here with all my friends tonight. I'm gonna stay in the camper and work on this video, but I love y'all. Thanks for tuning in, checking these videos out, and I think the next one I'm gonna do, like I said, I got like 5 minutes of memory left, it says. So after I clean everything out, there's been some comments that I haven't responded to yet, so I'll go ahead and answer some of those, and on the next video I'll start that maybe tomorrow, like I said, after I go ahead and delete some stuff. I got a couple orders to work on anyway, but love y'all. I appreciate it, and thanks for joining me on Changing This World one piece at a time. I hope through all of this it inspires you to get creative, and whether it's carving or any kind of art, any kind of anything, it's I can't explain to you how it makes me feel, and I just want to share that with everybody. So thanks for watching. Love y'all. We'll see you soon.